Welcome back, everyone. I'm so sorry for the wait. I know I said Friday or Saturday. Unfortunately, some of us still have to work day jobs.
I believe you have my stapler.
Trust me, I know how it feels. I've been waiting very long for this. I love this time of the year. It's football season, just a few days away. And just like someone said in one of the greatest fantasy leagues known to mankind,
fantasy football is my religion.
all right. That's just one of my favorite TV shows, especially this time of year. I like to watch it right before the season starts. It gets me extra pumped up. All right, guys, thanks for waiting. I know how it feels. Trust me. I know you all need your fantasy football or just football in general. I need football too, like really need it. Because let's face it, fantasy football is one of the most funnest things other than actually just watching or playing football. Especially if you don't have the best team, it can make football just fun in general throughout the season. So this will most definitely be my shortest video. There's not a lot of tight ends out there worth ranking in fantasy football. I mean, you got the top three. After that, it's all just a gamble, really. So here we got tight end 1. Those are guys I think you're gonna start week in, week out. Tight end 2. Those are guys I think is worth starting, but again, it's all a gamble. We got tight ends on the bench, and we got bust tight ends. If you feel this video is a little rushed, I'm sorry. It kind of is. It's already Monday. I need to make time to make my predictions video, which I plan on making tomorrow, editing Wednesday and uploading Wednesday just in time for the season. Well, let's get right into it. Buffalo Bills. You got Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. Dalton Kincaid, I think, is someone who should be a tight end 1 without question. He's got a split in snaps with Dawson Knox. Last year, we expected a huge jump from him, but we didn't get it. I'm hoping it was knee injuries that was lingering, because I drafted him this year in one of my leagues. Now he's the backup to another tight end I drafted earlier in the draft. Still think Kincaid can make the push, absolutely, especially with Josh Allen as his quarterback. Kincaid is someone I can comfortably put on the bench. Then you have Dawson Knox. I'm just gonna put him right in the bust. I think he stops his reign of stealing targets. Bust. After that, you got someone who just came out of retirement in Darren Waller. A few years ago, Waller was an awesome tight end. I'm not saying he can't be an awesome tight end still, but he's coming out of retirement, took a whole year off. Not sure how much target share he's going to get in Miami with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. You got Achane that's poised to have a lot of catches again this year. Still, we did see Jonnu Smith have a pretty decent tight end season last year, so let's keep Darren Waller on the bench. I'm definitely intrigued. Someone I didn't even hear of until about 1 second ago because I had to look him up. That's Mason Taylor, the presumed Jets starter. Again, I had no idea who it is. I had to look him up. He has Justin Fields as his quarterback. I think Justin Fields can maintain more than one viable fantasy option, so let's just go bust. Now we got Hunter Henry. That's someone I think that could easily be a top 5 tight end. Unfortunately, he got traded to the Patriots from the Chargers. If he was still on the Chargers, I would have him at least top 10 tight end. But he's on the Patriots. He's got Drake May as his quarterback. Everyone's expecting a big jump from Drake May in year 2, as am I. I don't think he's going to be terrible. I don't know what that offense is going to look like with Mike Vrabel as head coach now. I don't know the target share. I don't know if it's going to be run first. I would assume so with the new rookie. Henry still has a lot of potential. He's a very good tight end. There's not going to be a lot of starting caliber tight ends. Let's put him as tight end 2. Then we have Mark Andrews of the Baltimore Ravens. A few years ago, this guy was an unquestioned tight end 1, top 3 in the league, even maybe number 1 if it wasn't for Kelsey. Last couple of years, he's dropped off. We saw in the playoffs last year, he had two crucial plays that helped Baltimore lose that game. They also have the young tight end in Likely, who looks very good. I think he takes over for Andrews, even at some point this season, officially. We could keep Mark Andrews on the bench. He's still Mark Andrews. He's still Lamar Jackson's, one of Lamar Jackson's favorite targets. Obviously, a big red zone threat. But that leads us to his eventual successor in Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely is also someone I want to put on the bench to see exactly what that tight end target share looks like in Baltimore. I still think they're going to be a run-first team. They have Flowers, they have Hopkins, they have Bateman, who they just extended. So let's see. Then we have the division rival Bengals tight end and Mike Gesicki. Now, we all love Gesicki and the gritty. Gritty's Gesicki, Gesicki's gritty. Even though he's probably fourth, fifth option on that offense, it's still an extremely high-powered offense. I think I can put Gesicki as a tight end 2. Hold on here. Sorry about that. There we go. Tight end 2. The Bengals also did bring in Noah Fant. I always thought Noah Fant would be a strong tight end. Never really panned out. I don't think it's going to pan out with Cincinnati if it didn't pan out anywhere else. Let's go bust. Staying in the division, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers had Pat Freiermuth, and now they have Jonnu Smith. They wouldn't have gotten Jonnu Smith if they loved Pat Freiermuth, which is unfortunate because we all know Freiermuth is a big fan favorite. But like I said, they wouldn't have gotten out to get Jonnu Smith if they didn't really like him. So let's put Jonnu Smith as a tight end 2 after his big year last year. And just in case of injury or something like that, let's keep Freiermuth on the bench, because Aaron Rodgers does like his tight ends. Staying in the division again, we got David Njoku. Njoku is considered a top fantasy tight end. Personally, I don't really see it. He doesn't really end the year that strong, usually dealing with injuries. Gonna have a carousel of quarterbacks again this year. I'm gonna put Njoku as a bust. Travis Kelce, that's someone I think is gonna bounce back. Let's put Travis Kelce as a tight end 1. After that, we got somebody that really makes me wish I was in a dynasty league, because I drafted this guy pretty late last year and it worked out fantastically. I'm talking about Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is this year's tight end 1, unquestioned about it. I think he finishes the year as tight end 1 again. Brock Bowers will be your tight end 1. I guarantee it. Next up is Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is now with the Denver Broncos. I liked what I saw with Bo Nix last season. Now, we always have to worry about a sophomore slump with quarterbacks, especially after C.J. Stroud. The Denver Broncos, however, have a much better O-line and a much better offensive-minded coach in Sean Payton. Call me crazy, I think Evan Ingram, as long as he can stay healthy, is going to finish as a tight end 1 this year. Now we got the Chargers tight end and Will Dissly. Will Dissly had a couple of decent games last year, but obviously, as we saw, the tight end is not a focal point in that offense. It's a run-first offense. I would really only start a Chargers tight end if there was riddled with injuries or bye weeks. Let's put Will Dissly as a bust, because I see most targets going to wide receivers in that offense. Now we got Tyler Warren, the rookie. I think this rookie is going to be the Brock Bowers of this year. Let's put him tight end 1 for sure. Now we got Okonkwo, the Titans tight end. I'm not going to think too much about this. Cam Ward is a rookie. Ridley's the number 1. They're going to run. Let's put him as a bust. Jaguars tight end Brenton Strange had flashes last year. I don't think in Liam Cohen's offense he's going to be featured that much. Let's put him on the bench just in case I'm wrong, but I'm not expecting big things from him. Now we got Dalton Schultz, the Texans tight end. I think Stroud will have a bounce back year. However, I don't think Stroud... I think Stroud is going to have a bounce back year and play really well. However, I don't see Schultz being anywhere in the tight end range of relevancy. Let's put him on the bench. Now we got my tight end 1, the Eagles tight end 1, and Dallas Goedert. I think Dallas Goedert could easily be on most teams a perennial tight end 1. However, he's on the Eagles, which is predominantly a run-first offense. And of course, the top 2 options there are A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. It usually takes one of them to be injured for Goddard to have a really good game. I'm still going to put Goddard as a tight end 2, especially I think the Eagles are going to pass a little bit more this year. I don't think they're going to have much of a choice not to. Goddard will definitely have some decent games, so tight end 2. Tight end Jake Ferguson. Last year we expected a big jump from him, but Dak Prescott got injured, and then after that we really didn't see him even get that many targets. This year with Dak Prescott healthy, you got CeeDee Lamb on one side, you got George Pickens on another side. I think that's going to open a lot of things up in the middle there. So I think Dalton Schultz will have a tight end 1 season. Now we got Old Reliable and Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz had a decent season last season. He hasn't really been able to duplicate his years with the Eagles. He is getting older, so I mean, it is what it is. I think he's a really good security blanket for Jaden Daniels. I think he'll continue to be that this year. Let's put him as tight end 2. Now we got Theo Johnson, the Giants tight end. I don't expect big things from the Giants at all in general. Russell Wilson, from what I remember, doesn't really throw to his tight ends. Let's put Theo Johnson as a bust. This brings us to the tight end I was talking about before, in Tucker Kraft. Now, I drafted Tucker Kraft in the late rounds of my drafts. I've been hearing nothing but great things out of this guy coming out of camp, coming out of the offseason and preseason. He's going to be the tight end 1. Last season, we saw he had the most yak of all tight ends. Without a true number 1 receiver in Green Bay just yet, I think Golden can be there, but without one just yet, I think Kraft, to at least start the year, will start off extremely strong. I think he has a fantastic season. I'm putting Kraft as a tight end 1. Maybe that's a little biased. Okay, tight end 2, with the potential of going to tight end 1. Now I'm talking about Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta had a fantastic rookie season. He had 80 catches with 10 touchdowns. We came into last year thinking he was going to be what Brock Bowers is, the next great tight end. Unfortunately, we didn't really see that last year. He took a little bit of a step back in the offense. This year, I think we're going to see a lot of the same thing, but still in the tight end world of fantasy, it's still going to be plenty good enough for a tight end 2. Now we have TJ Hawkinson. I'm not really sure after the injury how it's going to look. He was able to come back last year, but we didn't really see him that much in the offense. With the new quarterback and JJ McCarthy and obviously Justin Jefferson going to command touches, I think with Addison's suspension the first 3 games, Hawkinson will be the number 2 option. So for the first 3 games, you can put him as a tight end 2. Other than that, I'm keeping on the bench. I want to see what kind of chemistry he has with JJ. Now we have the Bears duo in Kmet and Loveland. I'm not going to spend too much on this. Kmet, I'm going to put on the bench in case Loveland gets hurt. Loveland, I'm going to put it as a tight end 1 because you just do not spend that high of a first round pick on a tight end if you're not going to use him. Kittle, tight end 1. I'm not going to talk much about it. Put him right next to Brock Bowers. Easiest thing. Same thing with Trey McBride. Those are my top 3 guys. I think it goes Bowers, McBride, Kittle. After that, it's really just a wishy-washy, put whoever you want, wherever you want kind of situation. Now we got Tyler Higbee with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Let's just put Higbee as a bust. Kyle Pitts has been one of the most polarizing options in fantasy football, especially for the tight end position. He came out of college, a top 5 pick. A freak of nature, a terrific athlete. In his rookie year, we saw what he might be able to do. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to even come close to his rookie year. We've all been waiting for that breakout so bad, and it just has not come. It's hard to believe it comes this year. I'll put Kyle Pitts on the bench. Now we got the Bucs tight end and Cade Otton. I think Cade Otton is really good. I think he's underrated. I think he's underutilized. So for that reason, I'm going to put him on the bench. I'm going to leave him there for bye weeks and injuries. Other than that, I don't see him getting that many targets. You still got Mike Evans. You got the rookie Ibuka. You still have Chris Godwin coming back. You have McMillan. You have the running backs are going to get a lot of targets. For all those reasons, I can't be too high on Otton. All right, last 2 tight ends. We got the Saints tight end and Johnson. I think Johnson is a decent tight end. However, the Saints don't have a quarterback. Bust. Now we got the Panthers. This is Tommy Tremble. However, I think Jatavian Sanders will be the tight end 1 in Carolina, so I can't really. Let's put bust for Tommy Tremble. And if we were to pretend this is Sanders, let's actually go tight end 2. All right, guys, that was my speed tight end rankings. Thank you so much. Again, sorry for the delay. I will have my season predictions up shortly. See you Thursday night for the live Eagles game. I cannot wait. I am super pumped. I think we knocked the brakes off of the Cowboys, especially with Parsons gone. Wow! Oh, I am so ready for football. Let's get this shit started. Let's go. All right, see you Thursday, everyone. Have a good afternoon. Have a good night. Love you all.